All right. Hello, everyone. Hi. My name is Bella Ralston, and I'm also known as Mommy Lay on the internet. It is so nice to see some familiar names popping up. Hello, everybody. And to everyone that is new here, if this is your first time attending this class, again, my name is Lay, and I am representing Faber-Castell USA, and we do this quite often, almost every Wednesday of the week. And so it's always a pleasure to be here, to be your teacher, your class instructor, and actually your cheerleader. So I love Wednesdays because I get to spend some time and be creative. And you should pat yourself on the back because really, I think spending some time to really sit down and do something, whether it is simple or complicated, but if you're doing something for yourself, this is really big. So I am super happy that you're here. I would love to know where you're from. Actually, if you are familiar with my classes, you guys know that I broadcast live from Northwest Arkansas, but we just moved recently. So I am here in close to Houston, Texas. So I am now a Texas girl. It is hot in here, but I'm super excited and I'm super happy to be in the comfort of my office again. So it might look different, but again, hello. Hi, Mary. Hello, Mary. Hi, Helly. Hello, San Antonio. I'm close to you now. Super excited. New Jersey. We have someone from New Jersey here. Hello, everybody. Anita said the picture isn't very clear. I'm not sure if this is the settings into the camera just because everything's still new. Trust me, the office is the only one that's been put together. The rest of the house, not yet. But you know what? We're going to do something today. We're going to have fun first before we do that. But let's look at the overhead and see. Hopefully this is much clearer because this is the most important one here. So hello, we have some friends from New York, from Wisconsin, and from Canada. Hello, everybody. Hi, by the sea in North San Diego County. Oh, you're camping, Carolyn? Well, look at you. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for joining in. Wow, we have Shelly is from Pennsylvania. Okay, so today's class is going to be simple, quick, and very easy. I promise you that. We're going to create, I can't believe this, I'm saying this, but we're going to create a back to school font. Well, I don't think it really exists, but we're going to make it exist because we're going to letter. It's going to be a lettering class, but we're going to be creating a pencil font. Basically, this is kind of just like a faux calligraphy or kind of like the balloon lettering that we have done in the past as well. And I'd love to invite you to check out Michael's YouTube channel because I created lots of class for Faber-Castell, so many different classes that are available there. We have kind of like, let me zoom in real quick. We have balloon lettering, we have alpha block lettering and all that. So today's class is going to be similar to that. We're going to be using some colored pencils. Now I have a yellow and orange, I have specific colors that I included in the class description. But if you don't have the same colors, exact colors, something similar to this is just fine. So we have a light yellow, a medium, and an orange one, and then a darker tone, kind of like close. This one is a burnt ochre, so kind of like a deep orange, light brown. And then I have some pinks in here, okay? And then I have some blues as well, okay? And then also for our inking markers, we have the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pens. Now the Pitt Artist Pen, especially the black one, comes in many different tips. So the ones that I'm going to have, or I'm going to use today would be a 1.5. This is the bullet tip that they have. I like this one. And then I might also use the small, and then I have a brush. I might not use it all, but I'm just going to have it out. So if you have different tips and if you love one more than the other, you can just use that one. So no problem. Okay. And then I also have pencil and an eraser. This is important to have a pencil first before we start inking because we're going to go through a lot of changes in here. I don't know what this mark is, but we're just going to erase it. Oh, I did. I was able to clean it up. All right, here we go. Okay, before we start, I want to say hello again to everyone. I can still see someone in the chat. Riverside, California. Hello, California. Alberta, hello. Hello, everyone. Here we go. Okay, so like what I said, we're going to create a pencil font. Now, how do we do this? It's going to be, you can try to make it a script. I'm just going to write ABC. Try to write ABC in a script style. If not, you can do a print. I'm going to start with ABC like this, or I can do a print one. So I can just show you. Notice how I have some spacing because this is just basically the skeleton of her letter. I know it's kind of weird, but this is going to be the inside, or this is her main guide. All right, so now that you've written your ABC first, let's do that. All right, my screen is really sharp on my end, so I'm not sure why we're having some troubles in there. It could be your connection, maybe. I'm not sure. Here we go. All right, so now that we have that, I'm gonna write in marker so you guys can see. All right, really? You're saying very blurry.
I was gonna say, Lay, I think it might be also too bright. I know you sometimes adjust the lighting, that might help.
Yeah, we can do that for sure. Hold on, let's adjust it so before we can proceed. Did that help at all?
Not really. There.
And then maybe I should, hold on one second. If I get lost, you guys hang with me. I'm gonna go change my internet so we make sure, okay? Better? Okay, perfect. All right, here we go. Okay, everyone ready? So now that we have our ABC, I'm just gonna go write it down so that it will be much clearer. Sometimes it's really hard to see when I'm using a pencil. Okay, but I'm just gonna go mark this up, line it with a liner so we can see it much clearer. Okay. So now that we have all the letters and our guides in here, right? Here we go. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go lock this in. Basically, we're gonna go draw another line on the outside and another line on the inside. Here, let's try this. So we're gonna start with the outside first, like that, and I'll go in here. So everything, just follow along the guide of your letters. That. All right, so that's the bottom or the outside part. All right. Let's see if this is going to be much better.
There we go.
Is it much better?
Yes, I notice a huge difference. Definitely.
All right. All right, perfect.
And you did miss a question up there. Wait 1 second. Okay. Why didn't you leave space between your script letters?
Okay,
like you did on
so
the other print.
the spacing, because basically this is the skeleton of our letter. So we're going to go lock this in with outside stroke and an inside stroke. So it is very important to have some great spacing in between. Okay, because basically we're adding 2 strokes. So you might feel each letter will feel condensed if they're too narrow or too close to one another. So make sure it is important to have a little bit of spacing in between. All right, so I did the outside stroke. Now we're going to go in outside of this one too. So I'm just following the guide, all right? So here for the letter B. Now you want to make it rounder instead of a sharp line. See, look at this one. This is another mistake that I did. See that my stroke over here is too close to my belly of the letter B? But because I used marker, I cannot erase it. So we're going to go repeat that again. So I like doing and showing my mistakes because most of the time when you're not watching someone do it and you're doing it yourself, you're kind of like forgetting how it happened and how the process. And so if I show you now, if me making a mistakes as well, you can avoid that when you're doing it. So now look at my loop on the top. It is much, much smaller. And so I'm going to do this again. And I'm going to add my letter C. All right. So I'll add again my stroke outside. Just following my guide. Right? And then I'll do it here. And if you're using a pencil, then you're okay. We can do some adjustments and erasing later. Like that. So just following the guides. All right. And this is where it's going to get a little confusing because it's like, okay, I did the outside. Now what's going to go happen on the inside strokes? So for the inside strokes, for this letter A here, inside this space in here, I'm just going to draw a circle. I still follow the shape of the letter A, but I just drew just a much smaller circle in the middle, right? And then I'm going to do the same thing here and draw a smaller circle for the letter B. And then here, we're going to draw this one and this one too. It's okay. We're going to make adjustments later. All right. Yes, we'll definitely do this for the script or for the print as well. Right. For you to not get a little confused, we want to erase now the skeleton that we created, basically. So just erase it lightly. It will help smoothen things out. Or you can just kind of like erase the whole thing and then go over again the stroke that we did. Much better this time. So I'm going to go here. I know it's counterproductive, but trust me, it really does work for me. And see here, I did it sharp, kind of like the curve that I made was sharper. So I am adjusting that and I'm making things more rounder because things feel like a little more cuter when it's more on the round side. Even my letter C here, all my connections here. And also another adjustment that we're going to make for this one is I'm going to go extend this letter C like that. See how I did it? I just extended this part. Okay, and then I'm just going to follow everything again that I did earlier. That's the only adjustment that I need to make is extending this. Okay, so now this part right here, I'm going to extend this one again. Extend it up, right? And then here, I'm following that smaller. Now that I can see much clearer, I can say, okay, I can make this circle much bigger than how I did it earlier. Then I'll add the circle in here too. This is good. All right. This time, since we extended this part, we're going to make a triangle in the end because this is going to be the pencil part. Right? And then for this, where our lines ended earlier, we're just going to make jagged lines or wiggly lines. So it's kind of just like drawing mountains, smaller mountains, going up and down like that. And then for the tip, we're just going to draw a horizontal line to close it in. And then we're just going to fill in the tip like that. Now that's her pencil line. Okay, so for the print, let's do this time. I'm going to start with the outside stroke. It's going to be harder for the print to connect them just because I think to create a pencil looking, unless you want to create like a pencil in each letter, which might be a little difficult and it might be hard to read it. You know how sometimes that can happen. So we do this and I'm still on the outside line. All right, and then I'll close this in. And on the inside, I'll just draw a smaller one. Okay, and then I'll do the same here, like that. Here, this one, and then a smaller inside. And I'll do the same thing here. I'll start on the outside first, following my guide. And then I'll go on the inside. And then you want to extend this one because this is going to be where your pencil is. And we're going to close this 2 strokes in. And triangle, the jagged lines, fill it in, and that's our letter, the pencil part. All right. Is everyone following? Was the script a little hard? Or I don't think it was hard. It was just kind of like, we can still create this technique right here, even if you don't do the fancy loop and all that. So let's try it. I am going to write my name and I'm going to try and write small letters, but I want to make sure that I'm going to use extenders to connect them. And what I mean by extenders is just simple like this. So letter L in small. And instead of stopping in here, I'm going to bring it here like that. This would be my small L. And then I'm going to write an H, right? And I'm going to extend this again like that. And I'm going to write a letter E. Make sure you extend again like that. And then we're going to do the letter Y. And I think just to make this looking like a script, all you got to do is make a loop like that and then bring it up. All right. So now to make this a pencil lettering, I'm going to go draw on the outside first. Remember, we're going to fill in this with colors later, like that. So I'm just going for the outside stroke. Basically, what we need to do is we're going to close this in, like that. Extend this one because this is where my pencil is going to be, right? So now I'm going to go on the right side, following this letter again, like that. That. Go on the here. That. I'll extend this part. Now everything that has like open, we're going to close that in and we're going to make it like a hump or a half circle, like that. For the Y as well, like this, except for this part right here. So we're going to draw a triangle like that. Some jaggedy lines, this. And then we're going to close it in and fill that part in. And then we're going to erase the inside. Okay, so I'm going to go choose a much lighter pencil because this one is a 2B and it's really, really dark and it's hard to erase it. How would you, so Anastasia is asking, how do I write my name? How do you normally write your name? I would start with how you would normally write your name. I think that would help. I'm gonna go over here and just do this. So let's, start with how you usually write your name. So for example, your name is Anastasia. I would just write my name A, and then extend this one. So if you're not used to writing script, as long as you have an extender and you make your letters like that connect, because this is what writing script is. Everything is connected. So S, you have a beautiful name, by the way. T, is that how you spell it? Anastasia. Oh, wow. You're beautiful. S, A, extend, letter I, extend again, and then A. Right, and then close it in. This one, you want to go bring it up a little bit. All right, I'm going to choose another name in here that we can write. Okay, let's say Jen. Jen is easy. J, do a loop, extend it. Letter E, extend it. Letter N, and then extend this loop here, right? Let's try letter D. You can do the loop for the letter D like this, or you can keep it simple and just have like that. And letter E. So as long as when you're writing your script, look at how I would do my notebook. I would twist it to my left because I'm a righty. Now, if you're lefty, you want to twist it to your right a little bit so we can write much better. I don't know. I feel like I've gotten so used to it, twisting and moving tilting my notebook or my paper. And it just helps me write much better. M, I, and do it slow. You don't have to do it fast when you're working on something, especially if it's something new. For example, writing script like this, because it can be a little difficult, especially if you've gotten used to writing in print. I mean, I don't think I write in script when I'm not hand lettering. So when I'm just writing normally, I would write in print. So, okay, Olivia, O. And when you go here, right? Extend it, L, extend it. And then you'll do your I, extend, V. This one, go up just a little bit and make a loop, extend, I, and then A. All right. Okay, so the next letter, the next word that I want to letter that I think is going to be, it's going to be good. Let's try back to school. So I have 3 words. Knowing that I have 3 words, and this is the only space I have in here. Oops, it's trying to focus. So I know that back to school, or I can do back to and then school at the bottom. So this is how I would normally compose my quote. For example, So I'm going to write here back. Now I've learned earlier that sometimes I would do my loop too big and it would give me some trouble. So I would extend this and I would do A, have my extended loop, C. And here I would try to copy this one just so it's the same look. Back. There. You don't always have to write the pencil in the end. If you're writing a big quote, for example, back to school, I would rather choose the school to have the pencil tip. Does that make sense? Instead of it kind of like having every word that will have the pencil. It's going to kind of look redundant. It might be too hard to read and all that. So I'm going to do back to. Okay, and then extend this one. S. Do C. And again, I'll try to mimic the look of this ones. So have a smaller loop on top. O. O. L. And this one I will extend because I will put my pencil in there. Does that make sense? And then I'm going to draw something in here like a piece of paper. Just like that. So we can fill in some space. I draw like this, kind of like a composition paper. Draw dots. That. I draw the line. I'm not trying to be perfect with my line. I'm just drawing lines to make it look like a paper. And then I draw my kawaii face, 2 dots for my eyes, and a letter U for my smile, all right? And then we can actually add here a paintbrush. So I'm going to draw 2 parallel lines, but it's kind of like going wide to the bottom. So narrow on the top and going wide at the bottom, right? And then I'm going to make a smiley here at the bottom. And then here, I'm going to close it in with a horizontal. Now for the brush, you can make it just as simple as 2 straight or 2 diagonal lines like that. But you can make it a little fancy by drawing like this, like that. And this one, I will extend it like this. So as you can see, I like to, when I'm drawing, when I'm doodling, I try not to make things overcomplicated. Everything I use is just basic, simple lines. Right? And then I'm going to go over my eraser so we're going to color that. And here, I'm also going over my basic sketch in here. All right. And then I'm going to go now and add my outside stroke and my inside stroke. So I'm going over it. And when you're sketching, try to go as light as possible so that it's not hard to erase. There we go. I'm going to go here. That. Just following my guide. See, when you're too close to one another, this is where it's going to be a little difficult. So you want to make sure you really have enough spacing in between each letter. Because when they're too close, sometimes it's a little hard to create that outside and inside lines. And that is part of my struggle when I'm creating this. So I'm just closing everything in that's like this. And here, I'm just going to draw a line inside this, like that, 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 like that. All right, I'm going to do the same thing here. Look, I'm too close again. It's okay, we'll just connect it. So it's kind of like the K and the T will be connected. So when that happens to you too, try not to give yourself such a hard time. You know, it's just, it's very simple. With this one, look, I'm having a little trouble in here. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm not going to extend this one anymore. So I'm just going to close this in and I'm going to create a letter O that is very simple, just like that. There we go. So outside stroke again for my letter S. This. That. Right. And then on the inside. This. O. Some letters are harder than the other, even for me. Sometimes it's like, why can't I make this letter the same as how I would do my letter L? Or for example, it's just, so some letters are just different. some letters are problematic for me, or maybe I'm the one problematic for these letters. All right, so I'm going to close it in. This is my letter S. Do that. Okay, I'm here again with my letter O. So see what I did in here? Like that. Kind of like I'm doing a moon. So instead of one big circle, I'm just drawing this and then connecting it like this. So drawing a diagonal line. I'll do it here as well. Now for this one, this is our pencil. I'm going to draw pencil end, the triangle, and then some jaggedy lines like that. Okay, now it's time to use our liner. And basically what we're going to line is just the outside lines that we created, the outside strokes. So I'm going to start on top to avoid smudging, because if I would start right here and I would go on top, the first line art that I would create, I would smudge it. And if you're a righty, then you won't have the problem. If you're a lefty, some people will always have this issue because the way they would write, you know, I feel bad. I feel sorry for you guys, because when I try to learn how to write hand letter in left, I didn't realize how much struggle it is. And my daughter, my oldest daughter, is a lefty actually. And that's why she said, Mom, you just don't know. So, okay. So anyways, just start from the top and we're going to go down. All right. So take your time here. Make sure you follow along all of that what we created. We're going to erase just one more thing, and it would be the letter S in here. And I'll show you that in a little bit. We'll get to that. So I'm using a super fine, or the letter S. This is one of my favorite liners because it's not too thin. It's not too thick. To me, it is just right. For some people, it might still be thin for them, but really for me, this is like a perfect, even for writing, for doing line art like this. I really love this super fine size. So in Faber-Castell, that is the one that has a letter S on that lid or the pen cap, like this one. It also has it in the body, so you're going to see it. And also, the Pitt Artist pens, they are India ink, so they are waterproof once they're dry. So if you decide to create like letterings and color them in with watercolors, then you can definitely use this liner. There we go. And while you're doing your line art also, you're going to see if you need a little bit of adjustment. Say, for example, okay, I think I made my inside circle just too big for my liking. So you can just always come back in and kind of like make it a little bit smaller when you're doing your final line work. So you can still make adjustments as you're going along. Right? I'll do the same here. So as you can see, I'm doing it one stroke at a time. Like that. All right, now that we're back here to our letter S, this part here at the bottom, I'm just erasing just a little part of it. I'm going back with my eraser. Now this one, I want to make it just slightly wider, like that, and this one, because this is where I'm going to add my eraser. So I'm going to close this in with a straight line, a horizontal line, and then I'm going to create a letter U or a wide U like this, like that. And then I'm going to draw another line just like that. So that is where the eraser part is going to be. And this is where our pencil tip is going to be, okay? Absolutely, yes. You can use a black pencil also. Yeah, you can use your colored pencil as well. That will work for sure. All right. And then I'm going to come back in, and now I'll start lining it in. Again, the key for this to look like a pencil, or we have to make all the things round. So all your connecting lines, you want to avoid any sharp lines. It's kind of like making a bubble lettering. Actually, if you're going to do a bubble lettering, this is the same process that you're going to make. So here, everything is bubble, like that. Everything else, of course, except for the pencil tip. Do it here. And, you know, guys, even if we finish this class today and yours didn't look exactly the way you want it to look, well, guess what? You can practice and practice this. And after some time of really spending some time with each letter, or even just your name. Try and practice just your name, you know? So over and over, write it over and over and over and over until you really get this look that you're happy with. So don't be frustrated if right now it still doesn't look like this, because trust me, I am doing this for a very long time. So, you know, I have been lettering and I have been practicing a whole lot. So sometimes I always, not sometimes, but most of the time, I like to remind my students that it takes a while before you can get to a stage where you're really, really happy with your outcome. But with practice, it is definitely, you can do this. All right, so I'm going to add my jagged lines or my wiggly lines here for my pencil. All right, and then I'm going to fill this in with the tip. Right? Or if you have a black colored pencil, you can do that as well. All right, for my doodles, I am going to use my brush tip, like this one. I love using the brush pen just because I can create in thin and thick strokes. And it's kind of like a comic. So the way they would draw it, look at that. So I would create thin and thick lines just by applying various pressure while I am using my brush pen. So see how thick this is, and see the other part is so thin. Also, because by using just the tip of the pen and applying really light pressure, I can really create very thin lines. Yes, this video is going to be on Michael's YouTube channel. So you want to make sure that this will be uploaded maybe 24 or 48 hours. So if there's anything that you need to review, you can always pause. You know, it always helps to review the same video and then pause it and come back to where you feel like you need to catch up again. Because I do agree, sometimes an hour is not enough. I'm just going to draw my circles in here. You can also fill in the circles already, or the holes like that. Just like that. And then I'm going to draw a smile, and then I'm going to write my lines later with my colored pencils. I would rather much do that. All right, so I'm just going to give it just a little bit of time to dry, especially my drawings. But I think this part right here is already dry. So then I'm just going over with my eraser and I'm cleaning up my sketch. Just like that. Now, if you need to clean up some lines, if you feel like you missed something, or if you feel like you want to add some thickness to your lines, then you can come back in and do so. Sometimes my connections are bad, so I like to come back in and kind of like just make sure my connections are all clean and all that. Here we go. All right, so now we're going to start with a very, very light color yellow. The one I'm using is a cadmium yellow, 107. Here we go. Yes, Emily, for sure you can. So I'm just going to go back. When I'm applying my first layer, I'm actually just not trying to be careful. As long as you stay inside the line, or you can go outside, you know what? It's okay too. But try to just go as light as possible for your first layer. So I'm just filling it in, and just sometimes I go crisscross. I'm not super duper careful with my coloring. Some other people are just super careful. They go one direction, but you know what? I actually like that messy look of the colored pencils. So I really don't mind when I have like scribble looking in there. But again, that's just a personal preference. So, you know, we're all different. You might like it very neat and tidy, where the strokes are all going in one direction. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think that's the beauty of art, is that it is interpretation. So, and always about personal preference. So there ain't no wrong, there ain't no right. It's just how you want your art to look. There we go. And I'll do the same here. Just color it in. I think when I was much younger, when I would do my coloring pages, I would go in one direction only. For example, if it's horizontal, everything is horizontal. But now I feel like I like that whimsical look. So I'm exploring, I am growing, and as you should too. So you should explore and you should try new things and really see what feels good and what looks good to you and what works for you. Just coloring in. We're not going to do a whole lot of shading with this one because I don't think, you know, the pencil will have a whole lot of shading, even though we have different lighting situations. But I think for this, for the most part, we're going to keep things very simple here. Simple, fun, and light. But can you imagine if you create a nameplate with this one? And also if you have like digital drawing tablets, if you have the iPad, you can definitely try this style, this design, and turn it digital. You know, you can create your own wallpapers. You can print your own nameplates and name tags for school, for your kids, you know. I think if you're a teacher, this will look so cool also. If you're creating a lettering for your students or for your classroom, it's a great gift and a card for your teachers too, for the teachers. I love making presents for my kids' teachers when it's the first day of school, just to welcome them back. I know it gets overwhelming. All right, for the next part, like what I said, I'm not planning on making a whole lot of shadowing or anything like this, but I want to make sure that the end of my letter, I'm just going to make it just slightly dark. And I'm going back in with the lightest one that I use and just there, blending it in, right? And then when I go here at the bottom, I'll add, this one is the dark cadmium yellow. Cadmium and chrome. This is a cadmium yellow. This one is the dark cadmium yellow. There. And then over here, just add slight bit. Right. I feel like here I could have made my circle just much smaller. I feel like it's a little wonky there, but I'm okay with that. Perfection is overrated anyway, so I'm just gonna do it like this. So at the bottom, this is also the this is the Polychromos pencils from Faber-Castell. It is a little bit on the pricey side, but it is one of my best investments ever that I have purchased. One of the best purchase when it comes to art supplies for sure are these pencils. And I've had them forever and ever. I don't have any issues when sharpening them because I've had bad experiences with other brands where I would sharpen and you know, they don't hold the tip too well. This one holds the tip very, very well. That's why I love using it, because I can use it long before I would need to sharpen it. And I don't think one's ever break on me. That's another issue from other brands that I have tried before is that it would always keep breaking. And, you know, just a few seconds of your time or a few minutes when you're working on something, you know, it can get a little annoying. All right, I think I'm going to add just a slight bit here. Now we're going to add some lines here in our pencil. Now you don't have to make your pencils yellow. I should have said that. If you wanted pink, then you can definitely do so. But remember, I'm going to make my eraser pink, so I don't really want to make my pencil. Did I say pencil? I'm going to make my eraser pink. So I didn't want to make the pencil, the whole pencil, pink color. Like that. So just a little bit of pop. Look at this. It just made a whole lot of difference. Just adding a little bit of this dark cadmium yellow here. Like that. It's not hard at all. It's not science. You know, there's not a whole lot of thinking here. It's just adding another touch of color. Really does help a lot to bring this illustration to life instead of just one flat yellow color. I think you added some visual interest here for sure. And it just made that illustration alive. So Nan is asking if there's a pattern. Not really. I think this is more very intuitive. So I would say whatever you feel like it, look closely at your drawing and see, hey, where can I do this? But of course, there is a more technical explanation. It depends on where your light source is in this one. But in this particular, what I'm doing here, there's not really a pattern, no rhyme or reason, but just kind of like adding some pop of darker yellow or a light orange in here. That's the only reason why I'm adding this one, just to kind of have like a different pop of color, because we don't want it flat. Now, when it's just one flat yellow, like how it was earlier, it was very flat. It's more, now it's more 3D, more 2D looking. And simple too. Like that. I'll just add a little bit here. Now, if you don't have the same exact color, I'm going to use a darker or a light brown. This one is a burnt ochre. That is what we're going to use to add the lines for our pencils. All right. So I'm just switching between my light yellow or my light chrome, cadmium. Sorry, this is the cadmium, light cadmium and the dark cadmium. So just switching between them. That. All right. So I think for the pencil, the shaped part, if you have, I'm going to use a cinnamon color. If you have like a beige or a very, I actually don't like this one. If you have a lighter yellow, let's see, this one is a cream. This might work. Or if you have a much, much paler pink than what I have, that might work. Let's see. This one is good. This one is called Light Flesh. Yeah, this one. So if you have anything like this, kind of like a blush pink, I think it would have looked much better there. Right, so for the eraser part, I'm just going to use a light pink. This is the light purple pink. And then I also have a yellow in here. I mean, sorry, light blue. This one is the sky blue, right? And I'm also going to use the same sky blue. Let me erase my sketch here, clean this part up. And this one too. All right, so I'm using the same blue and I'm going around my paper in here. I'm just creating a border. So I'm just coloring inside the strokes. I'm not going to color the whole thing, just like that. What this does is that it creates a visual that this paper right here is white, because we cannot color it with white, although we can. We have that, but why? Because our paper is white already, so we don't have to do that. Look at that, Dylan. That is amazing. Look at you. All right, and so I'm going to draw my line. I'm going to use the same blue, sky blue color, and I'm just going to draw a line here. So drawing horizontal line. Doesn't have to be perfect. I am just drawing some line, some line. Then I'm going to use the same pink color. And for this one here, I'm just going to go round this stroke. And lightly coloring this part right there. And I'm going to add a blush to my paper because it's so cute. Just like that. And then you think we should color our brush pink? I think so. I'm going to color it in pink. Kind of color this part right here. Just like that. And then I'm going around this part right here. Kind of like with the blue. Although there's no white brush, because all my brushes are dirty. They're either brown or dark gray. So I'm just grabbing a gray here and just coloring it in. And then I'm going to use the dark chrome yellow to color this part of the brush in. But that's really it. We can add a little bit of drop shadow. Now with the drop shadow, what you want to do with your drop shadow is that you want to choose one side. So whether it's on the left side of your letter or the right side of your letter. So this time I'm going to choose the left side, okay? So what I mean by that is that I'm just going over here, the left side of each stroke. And so here, this is the left side. So I'm going to go over here, just like that. Here as well, like that, like that. Left, left side, left side, left side of this. Left side. And also, while I still have you here, I'd like to invite everybody for our next class. We're going to be doing this cute little page right here. You can create it in your bullet journal, or you can create your own note list like this. I think it looks super cute. That is next week, same time, 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. So you'll find all the information on Michael's website. I hope you'll be able to join me again. We're going to have lots of fun. We're going to use some markers and some colored pencils for this class. Sorry, I'm going still over my left side of my each stroke in here. That. Oops. Left, left, left. this left side. I think when I was just first starting with lettering, adding some drop shadow is where I struggled the most. I mean, aside from the whole lettering itself, but when I was adding drop shadow, I never knew where to add the drop shadow. I would just always put it everywhere, I think. That's how I used to do it. So again, always just choose one side, all right? So I'm using the same pink color and I'm just adding some cute hearts in here just to add more visual. Again, if you're writing your name, I think it will be so cute with all these cuteness right here. And then this is also just optional, but you can add like a face in your pencil like that. Now the light brown that I was talking about, you can add like lines inside of your pencil or your lettering like this. This one, again, no rhyme, no reason, because for a script, you can just go over your letter like this. So I'm just kind of like writing inside my letter here, like that. So I'm just making this really light because I don't want it to stand out. I want it to be there, but you know, I don't want it to stand out too much. But basically, this is it. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that you had lots of fun. Don't forget to show Faber-Castell some love. Thank you for providing this class for all of us. And also, of course, Michael's. Thank you so much. So make sure to follow them on social media, show them some love. And if you were creating along with me today, I would love to see if you can follow me along on social media as well. It's just at Mommy Lay. I'd love to connect with you. Again, guys, thank you so much for joining in. Bye, Anita. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. And I hope to see you again next week. Stay creative and stay happy.